Mic check 1 2 1 2. It's the Y2K collector here in the storage room trying to find all of my Switch games because I did say that I was going to do a Switch collection video this weekend. But as I was going through here and doing some sorting through my collection, I did find some games that weren't tracked in my Gameboy app. So I had to add some of them, and those were my sealed Game Boy Advance games. Now I don't have a ton of sealed Game Boy Advance games because I never really set out to have a sealed Game Boy Advance collection. There was just a point where I want to say like at the beginning of 2021, end of 2022, where there were Game Boy Advance games like sealed being sold for really cheap, or at least what I thought was cheap for sealed Game Boy Advance games. So I picked up a few that were of my taste, games that, I enjoy. And at that time, I was building a strong Game Boy Advance collection. I've since sold a bunch of Game Boy Advance games, but I still have like a good chunk of my Game Boy Advance games. So I figured I'd show you this morning really quickly just the few games that I have sealed for the Game Boy Advance. Starting off with this sealed copy. Well, this one isn't sealed, so little disclaimer here. So this is the one Game Boy Advance game that isn't sealed. It is complete in box, has all the inserts though, and that is my copy of Drill Dozer. Now, Drill Dozer is a very cool action platforming style game that has a unique rumble feature in the game pack. Whenever you activate your drill, it causes the Game Boy Advance to rumble, and I thought that was really cool for a Game Boy game to have that rumble feature. Now, I actually had this game loose for a long time, and then I want to say either last year or the beginning of this year, I actually made a trade and was able to pick up a complete in box copy of the game. So went ahead and added that to the collection. But yeah, Drill Dozer, not sealed, but complete in box in like new condition. The box is in decent condition, really good condition. So that is the first Game Boy Advance game. Now, next up, we have this sealed copy of CT Special Forces. Now, for any of you who have been following my channel for a really long time, you know I am a big fan of the run and gun shooter style games, and that's exactly what this is. I don't know if it's still only for Game Boy Advance. I'm not sure if this has gotten any other ports. I never checked. But this is one that I just never got around to opening. I did have every intention of playing this game because, again, this is the style of game that I like. But if you look on the back there, it definitely has those Metal Slug vibes. So this is one that I was really stoked to actually add to the collection. And it is still sealed. CT Special Forces, a really cool run and gun shooter style game. Next up, we have Puzzle Fighter 2, Super Puzzle Fighter 2. Now, I'm a big fan of Puzzle Fighter. I actually have Puzzle Fighter 2 on the Sega Saturn, which to me is one of the best ways to play this game. It just feels like when you play this game on the Sega Saturn, it just feels so much like the arcade. You feel like you're in the arcade just based on that sound. Call me crazy. I had it loose on the Game Boy Advance, so I was playing it on the Game Boy Advance from time to time. But then they had a sealed copy for like 39 bucks or 30 bucks. So I went ahead and snagged it just because I'm a fan of the Fighter series. I'm a big fan of Street Fighter, obviously. And Puzzle Fighter 2 is just a really cool game. So went ahead and added this sealed copy to my collection, and it has remained sealed ever since. So still got that sealed in the box there. That's Puzzle Fighter 2. Next up is this one. I think you can still find sealed, and that's F-Zero GP Legend. Again, this is another one I had loose, but again, this is one of those ones that was selling for like 39 bucks online, which I thought was pretty cool to find a Game Boy Advance game that price. And I don't think this game has gone up much since then. This is probably like 60 bucks, and I'm pretty sure you can still find sealed copies of this game online. So if you're someone who's trying to build a sealed Game Boy Advance collection, you can pick this game up factory sealed for under 60 bucks, I believe. So this is another cool one that I had in the collection. Still have it sealed. Never really thought about getting any of these graded or anything like that. Just had them in the collection, just games that I never got around to, and they're just still sitting in my collection sealed. Here's one that I really, really, really like, and that is my sealed copy of Advanced Guardian Heroes. This is a very cool take on one of my favorite beat 'em ups of all time. Um, for those of you who know or don't know, Guardian Heroes is a game that was released on the Sega Saturn back in the day. I actually have that game. But Guardian Advanced Heroes is like basically like the Game Boy Advance version of that game. Very, very cool beat 'em up with like RPG elements. I mean, look at that. Just sick. Um, just look at those screenshots. I mean, Guardian Advanced Heroes is really cool. I've actually never popped this open to play it, but I have played the original Guardian Heroes, which is just a classic. For those of you, if you're wondering what the original Guardian Heroes looks like, that's going to be this game right here. For those Saturn heads, Guardian Heroes. This is the original Guardian Heroes. Really, really cool game. Has like these RPG elements where like with each level that you beat, you get like skill points, and you can add them to like your technique, your strength, your HP. Like you can build your character up whoever you choose. There's multiple endings to this game, so has a lot. This is one of those beat 'em ups that has a lot of replay value because you can just see a whole bunch of different endings. I think there's like 6 characters you can choose from or something like that. Yeah. And it's up to 6 players. You can play 6 players at a time. So crazy game. And it's not like one of those straightforward beat 'em ups. There's like three planes, I guess you can switch between as you walk through the game. You can do air combos in this game. Just so much stuff. Beat 'em up action. You can use weapons. You have magic attacks. Just a very, very good beat 'em up game. And so just getting that port to the Game Boy Advance was just sick. So this is never leaving my collection. I've had this game for years. And when it comes to the Sega Saturn, I don't have a ton of games that like I would never give away, but Guardian Advanced Heroes is definitely one of them. All right, keeping it going with the sealed GBA games. Next we have Spider-Man 2. This game was actually a mistake. I ordered this game. I ordered a game online. It's been so long I can't remember, but I ordered a game online, and they wound up sending me Spider-Man 2, and I was just like, why did I get this game? I tried to do a return. The return never went through. Something strange happened. I can't remember, but I wound up having this sealed copy of Spider-Man 2 in the collection, and still have it to this day. So this is one that I just have. I actually tried to sell that multiple times, was just never able to get rid of it for some reason. Just no one ever wanted it. So I just wound up keeping it in the collection. I've tried to sell it so many times. CT Special Forces. I think this is CT Special Forces 2. So just the second installment of that run and gun shooter style game on the GBA. More just side-scrolling, shoot-'em-up action. You can use different weapons. You've got tanks that you can use. This has very much a lot of like Metal Slug vibes to it. Very cool, just side-scrolling run-and-gun shooter on the Game Boy Advance. One of my favorites. And that does it for my sealed Game Boy Advance games. Don't have a ton. Don't have a ton of those games. Just never really got into the sealed stuff for the Game Boy Advance. I do have one more game that I'll share with you, and it's not a Game Boy Advance game, but it is a handheld here, and that is my complete in box copy of Metal Slug Second Mission on the Neo Geo Pocket. It just happened to be on the shelf, so that's why I grabbed it. But like I said, man, I love my run and gun shooters. I'm a big fan of Metal Slug, and I do have a Neo Geo Pocket, one of my favorite consoles. Where's my Neo Geo Pocket at? I got my box of consoles over here. Where is it at? So I had 2 Neo Geo Pockets. I had one loose and I had one sealed. And then I opened my sealed one, but here goes my Neo Geo Pocket complete in box. So sometimes when I have that nostalgic itch, I'll pop that open and get going with some Metal Slug Second Mission. But yeah, there's really amazing run and gun shooters on almost any platform. You can find them. They're definitely out there. Oh, check it out. Yeah. I think I've mentioned this mini a few times in the past. This is just little bonus content. If you're looking for a mini that's gonna give you a ton of fun, you guys gotta check this out, the TurboGrafx Mini. Super dope. I put out a video the other day talking about like cheap ways you can enjoy retro games. This is definitely one of them. This is one of the best mini consoles ever made. It's got a ton of sick games on it. I mean, just look at all the games that you get with this. So you get 16 TurboGrafx 16 games, and then you get like a plethora of PC Engine games. The games that I wanted to get, the games that made me get this mini, I believe were the PC Engine games. The main one being, where's it at? It was not the Snatcher, not Newtopia. There's so many dope like ninja games, super dope shoot 'em ups. Got Salamander on here, Newtopia, the Kung Fu. But there's one in particular that I got this for, and I know it's on here. Of course, Gradius is cool, Super Darius, Superstar Soldier, really cool ones. They've got the Bomberman games on here. Here it goes, Lords of Thunder. This is the main reason why I got this mini, because Lords of Thunder is a game that I remember when I first heard about Lords of Thunder. It's a shoot 'em up that I thought was just, it looked beautiful. I thought the sprite work was amazing. But Lords of Thunder came out, I think, for three consoles. I think it came out for the TurboGrafx. It came out for the, did it come, I think it came out for the Neo Geo CD, I think. Somebody let me know down in the comments. So Lords of Thunder came out on the TurboGrafx 16, came out on the Neo Geo CD, and then it also came out on the Sega CD as well. So I have the Sega CD version of Lords of Thunder, but I wanted to have the TurboGrafx 16 version. I've actually taken this out and messed with it before. So this, I guess, technically isn't like brand new sealed because I have taken it out the box. But the big difference that I wanted to see between the two was the sound and the gameplay. Because, you know, before I actually had both, a lot of people were saying that the TurboGrafx 16 version plays better, but the Sega CD version sounds better. And the music on this game is actually really sick. If you're into like rock and stuff like that, yeah, this game is definitely where you'll want to be. Another game that has some really good rock music, I know I'm going off on tangents left and right, but if you really are into games that have great rock music, check out a game called Valfaris on the Nintendo Switch. Valfaris is like one of the first games I beat after I first got my Switch. If you've never heard of that game, check it out. It's super cheap. It's like 20 bucks for that game. It's called Valfaris. Very cool run and gun shooter style game. But that does it for me. I've got a lot of chores and errands to run and things to do this morning. I'm just down here in the storage room. I'm going to try, like I said, I'm going to try to pull out all of my Nintendo Switch games to make that video for you. As you can see, I found the boxes that have the special edition games that I have left. I've still got a small number of special edition Switch games, so I'm going to try to find, and then I've got another box over here with even more of the special edition Switch games, but I'm going to try to find the box that has all of my regular Switch games so I can make this video for you guys. But I'll be back with you this afternoon. Hopefully you are enjoying this day. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out, it's shining. Definitely get out, take some time, hang with fam, do something fun, enjoy the time with friends, and I will catch you in today's video. Take it easy.